Hello. Hey, thanks for checking out my lives. Thanks for stopping by, whether you're stopping by live or at your convenience. I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. Today I want to talk about an article from last week's A Wealth of Common Sense. Ben Carlson writes this article, and he's from Ritholtz Wealth Management. This newsletter is great. I recommend it. It's free. But on Friday, the topic was, or the title was, the three best inflation hedges. And here's what his newsletter looks like. In case you want to subscribe, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. This is just one of the articles. The newsletter looks a little bit different, but I think you guys get the gist. And here's what he said in this newsletter. He said, here's the three things, and I'm going to concentrate on one I'll come back to. The first is a good job. And the reason why a good job is a great hedge against inflation is usually in inflationary environments, people experience salary increases. In some professions, their average salary increases faster than inflation. And in truth, in the last couple of years, people's wages increase faster than inflation. It doesn't feel that way, but it's the truth. Wages increase faster than inflation. Now, not over the last decade, but the last couple of years. And certainly some occupations saw even higher wage growth. So a good job is the first thing. The second thing is owning stocks. And he says owning stocks because stocks represent ownership in companies that can adjust their prices and increase revenues. Meaning as inflation goes up, they can increase the cost or their sales point. And generally speaking, stocks outperform inflation. So stocks are a good thing. But the part that I want to concentrate on, and the part that we need to focus on, is his third premise, which is a fixed rate mortgage. And in truth, it wasn't only just a fixed rate mortgage, as you can see. It's real estate and a fixed rate mortgage. And it's really critical as mortgage and real estate professionals that we understand the role that real estate and lending play as a hedge against inflation. Now, before I get to the reasons why, just a couple of reasons why a 30-year fixed mortgage specifically is a hedge against inflation, and in a greater sense why real estate is, first we have to go, okay, what are we in right now? We're in an environment where inflation is slightly elevated. It's slightly above the Fed's target. It's being a little sticky, right? It's not wanting to go down further, and it may kind of stay around where it is. And we have fears, maybe founded, maybe unfounded, that the likely upcoming policy changes with the new administration could or could not be inflationary. There's certainly a lot of talk about it, whether it's tariffs or it's deportation or tax cuts. Is it inflationary? And we don't know yet. It's speculation, but there's certainly fear that we could be facing an inflationary environment. So if we know that inflation is slightly elevated right now, and we know that it's being sticky, and we may face an inflationary environment tomorrow, then as a mortgage and real estate professionals, what kind of information do we give to our clients, to our buyers and our borrowers? And here's the three things I want you to pay attention to. So here's why a fixed rate mortgage in real estate is a great strategy to offset inflation. So here's number one, obvious. You're on a 30-year fixed payment, your payment stays the same for 30 years. Say it's $2,500. $2,500 for 360 payments. At the same time, your wages go up. Your wages inflate. They go up naturally at 3 or 4% a year, whatever it happens to be. It goes up, but your payment stays flat. And so the actual percentage of your income you're applying to make your payment goes down conceptually every single month. And that acts as a hedge against inflation. It's great. And in his article, Ben used a meme, I think, from a movie. I don't remember what movie it is. It was from Dazed and Confused, where Wooderson, who I don't know what character that is, I haven't actually seen the movie, Wooderson said, "That's what I love about these fixed rate mortgages, man. I make more money and the payment stays the same." Easy to understand? How true is that? I'll put a link to Ben's article in my notes below. The whole article is worth reading, so check it out, and you can copy the meme and send it to your clients. Here's the second reason. Here's the second thing, and this doesn't have to do with 30-year fixed mortgage. It has to do with real estate. And what happens in a period of inflation, homes appreciate more than inflation, and here's why. Because when there's a period of inflation, that means goods and services are more expensive, which leads to higher priced new homes. And as new homes raise their prices, it lifts the prices of existing homes. And therefore, as an asset class, real estate outperforms almost every other asset class in an inflationary environment. Simple to understand. Like I say, you can check out Ben's article where he explains it. But here's the third thing, and this is the thing that is a little bit harder for us to grasp, harder for our clients to grasp, and that is inflation. Over time, inflation erodes the value of a dollar, right? So, and it's really simple to understand. How much can you buy with a dollar this year? What can you buy? What bushel of goods or basket of goods can you buy with that same dollar next year or the year after, right? And so let's look at it as a loaf of bread. Let's say a loaf of bread costs $1 this year. Next year, that loaf of bread, that dollar only buys you 98% of the loaf. And after 5 years, that dollar might only buy you half a loaf, right? And so that means your dollar is worth less. Does that make sense? Your dollar depreciates over time. So the concept here is, as inflation reduces the purchasing power of money over time, but your payment is pegged from an initial start date, so you're paying with dollars that are worth less, which actually lowers your real housing cost, right? So let's just say that, look, if I'm making a payment and my payment is $2,000 today, and in 5 years I saw the $2,000 payment, but the money I'm paying it with is really only worth $1,800 because value of money is depreciated, then that effectively lowered my real housing cost. I know this is a little harder to understand, and I did a very lengthy paper on this before, which maybe I need to recirculate. It just explains how the inflation erodes the value of dollar, and as the value of dollar goes down, your payment effectively goes down. So those are the three things. Your payment stays the same as your income grows. House is a great, hedge against inflation because prices tend to rise in an inflationary environment. And then as there's inflation, it actually erodes the value of the dollars you're paying with, and so you're effectively paying less. So there's you go. There's the three things. Now there's a whole bunch of other reasons we could get into on how real estate's a hedge against inflation. These are the key things. I would encourage you to check out Ben's entire article. I'd also encourage you, if you're interested, subscribe to Ben's newsletter. I probably twice a week he puts out this great content that's relevant to us. A couple times a week it's about investing or things that we don't care much about. He's very plain spoken. He gets straight to the point. I really appreciate his work. I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, if you get a chance, check me out on social media. One of the reasons why you want to check out my social media is because whenever I'm talking about somebody's an article or data or something in video, that means I made a post on LinkedIn, which you can go to and see a summary of what we talked about. Like you'll see a summary of the conversation today with bullet points, and you'll also be able to click a link directly to the source content. But anyway, I appreciate you checking me out. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to again seeing you maybe as early as tomorrow. Thanks so much.